Hi guys. So I wanted to touch base and also do a couple readings. First I want to say that I got on my read about how Trump leaves. It was a couple reads ago. I got people who were kind of upset by this notion that Trump would be pardoned. I just want to say a couple things on that. Ford pardoned Nixon. First of all, Nixon had not been convicted of anything, so that's actually, there's a type of pardon given to presidents that are sort of a blanket pardon. You don't have to have been convicted of anything. You just get this presidential pardon. You're only supposed to get that pardon for like if you've been through wartime and you had to sort of do some crazy things because the country was under attack or something like that. Obviously, with Trump, we need to investigate everything that he did during the presidency. And, also that wouldn't cover the New York stuff. So also the Mueller report, where he is individual one, is all pre-presidency, as are the investigations into the missing inauguration funds. So it's like, no matter what, he's got it coming from every angle. There's also a question of whether can he be pardoned if he's been impeached. Yes, he can be pardoned. He cannot pardon himself. I looked into this in the, and it's actually interesting because this is coming up in the Supreme Court justice proceedings right now, because people are asking her, do you think that Trump can pardon himself? And she's not even saying no. She's saying, well, these are things that would need to be discussed in legal, ways and matters, and depending on this and that. So of course, no matter what, they would have some legal bending to do this if they wanted to do this for Trump. But Pence could surely pardon him. And another thing, if I ask a question of the cards, it's not a reflection of my preference if I get an answer that is yes. I have gotten it twice. Also, this is just my readings. I mean, this is just me reading the cards. Obviously, I can be wrong. So, and the other message that I keep getting, because I followed, a lot of people are like, no, he needs to be taken out in handcuffs and all of this. Like, people are really craving that, and I understand that. But I keep getting this message over and over in my head. Like, we have to, and it's interesting because I've also heard Kim from Intuit View, and Linda G actually also said this in the last video I watched of hers. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I think that really there's a message that's trying to get through, which is, and it makes sense to me, we cannot hold on to vengeance that we maybe have a right to feel toward this man, but we have to and I'm not saying we forgive or forget, and I'm not saying we give up on him getting justice for his crimes. These are all very justified feelings, and I think we should absolutely want justice always, but it's different than putting a ton of energy into him with really needing to see him sort of bashed and punished in these ways that are dramatic, because that's a way of sort of staying attached to him. Kim at Intuit View said it kind of in an interesting way. There might actually be a time when we feel like a bit hollow because we don't have our daily panic and outrage and stress. We're just like, oh wow, but fill that space with what you want next. Sure, that can include justice for anyone who has committed crimes, but also let's get some other things taken care of. There's so many things that will need to be taken care of, and the world, and changing the world. So I just feel like the message is, don't get too attached to your anger against Trump, because that keeps us attached, that keeps him sort of tethered to us in a way. Whereas if we just let it go but not forgive, not forget, but just with the faith that it'll be worked out. And I also got this strong feeling when because people who had commented said, no, he needs to be taken out in handcuffs and all of this. If there were some kind of dramatic moment when Trump leaves, it would, if the military came or the FBI and dragged him out, kicking and screaming or something like that, there might be a momentary satisfaction, but that moment will be with us for 100 years. We don't want that drama. it feeds into his militias and his conspiracy theories. He's been planting this from the start, that the FBI is against him, that Democrats want to coup and want to take him out. It is so much better for us to have him voted out. And if he accepts a pardon, even better, because like I said, that can be contested. There's definitely reason to believe that we need to investigate his actions during the presidency. I agree. But for him to leave in that way, it takes the air out of so much of what he has planted into people's minds, the paranoias, the anger, the conspiracy theories. People who aren't informed and don't understand enough, who aren't paying attention, like I think of a lot of young people, will jump on this as a conspiracy theory. They'll say, oh wow, I think maybe you're right. I think, it would feed into these conspiracy theories, and we would be stuck with them for so much longer than if Trump loses and walks away. And I say with a pardon, not because it's my preference, it's just something I saw in the cards, but I realize, like later reflecting on it, that actually helps us because it shows that he wasn't forced out, that he left on his own accord. And that he's guilty of things and knows it. And got something out of it. The fact that he would get something out of it. And of course, he's not going to leave unless he gets something. Everybody knows that. And also, then Republicans can't jump. Imagine all the investigations if Trump was carried out in handcuffs. The investigations would go on for the rest of our lives. I don't want to see Republicans investigating. I want to see us investigating, us or, those who want to. There have been way too many crimes we need to investigate. We don't need investigations on top of investigations. We don't need to give power and fire to Republicans. Whereas if Trump leaves and walks away after losing, they all the air is let out of all of their tires. So I say that's the way to go. So the other thing, moving to the reading. So I want to know about what can we expect? We have two and a half weeks left, and everything just feels like nothing's really happening. And I had read a few weeks ago, I did a reading, Biden Next 70 Days, and I saw so much drama. I think we have had a lot of drama, but nothing really involving Biden, right? And I always, even in that, I saw, yes, the victory will go to Democrats, but I kind of saw I felt that they were going to be trying to go after Biden in these, crooked ways. But I almost am wondering if something has shifted in that and they're not going, and Barr is not doing it anymore, because I'll say, Trump is complaining on Fox News. It's so ridiculous. He's complaining that Barr isn't arresting Obama and Hillary and Joe Biden. This Durham report is not going forward. Durham has said he will not be concluding his investigation before November 3rd. And Trump is trying to get Barr to hurry everything up to get the arrests he wants. It's unbelievable that a person would even admit that they're trying to use the Department of Justice for these political arrests to help. It's just insane. And then what else? So then there was this other, I didn't even realize the Department of Justice had this unmasking investigation. John Bash was heading that up. That got dropped. It was supposed to be, something about checking into Obama-era officials acting improperly, and that got dropped without any kind of a report, which means nothing was found. So it's these things it just feels like, and then today they tried to do this drop of Hunter's emails. I mean, the Post, the New York Post, and it's literally at this point banned from Twitter. I mean, it's such a joke. It's just, but I did see they were going to try to go after Hunter, but I felt it to be more dramatic, and I love that it's going nowhere. I love that these things are duds and not working. And I feel I keep talking about the air coming out of tires. I feel that in general for whatever Bill Barr's plans were, or whatever Trump's plans were for this month, it seems like these things are just sort of puttering out. But it is it is interesting. There was also a video of, it feels like it was the thing that I saw in that read I did, but that it just isn't is puttering out. So my question is, like, what's going on with Barr? Is he having second thoughts about serving Trump's wishes because he sees, I think that that Trump getting sick might have just kind of shifted everything. Like, they know he's going to lose, and they're like, he's just like, I mean, I thought Barr was going to get impeached for doing some really shady things, and now suddenly nothing's panning out that Barr was supposed to do for Trump. Maybe he saw it coming too, and he's pulling away. So let's look into that, shall we? Also, there's this reader, Dweller Between Waters, who her whole channel got erased. It's just so horrible. And Marie's Table talked about it, so I'm following her now. I just feel terrible. What a nightmare. Like, I don't really understand why that happened to her, but I think I need to just sort of be clear in my readings. Like, these are just my reads, my opinions for entertainment purposes only. But help us to see, has Bill Barr retreated from all of his October surprise plans, his prosecutions, his plans on going after Democrats or Joe Biden's family? Is there anything on deck or what? Will there be some October surprises coming against Biden? What do they have planned? Bill Barr and Team Trump. Okay. Yes. I can say right away, this is the inauguration that I see for Joe Biden, this Four of Wands. And this is a Two of Pentacles. Their plan now is just to cast doubt on the election. This Two of Pentacles would be like juggling, like, we don't know who won. Well, that's their plan. Let's see what else. So here's what I get, and I think it's kind of interesting. Like I said, so this Four of Wands is the inauguration. It's my card for Biden's presidency, covered by the Two of Pentacles, which is a sort of juggling, as if to suggest we don't know who won. So this tells me this is what they're going to focus on, as far as still wanting to hold on to that presidency, right? This is how they'll try to do it. This is their main focus. Create confusion and chaos when it comes to who won. That's the plan. I'm not saying they're going to succeed. Why are they jumping to this instead of all their other schemes and plans? Because nothing is sticking. I see this. So this Eight of Cups is a sort of walking away to calmer waters. I feel like this is voters are walking away from Trump. Watching back, I also realize internally people are walking away as well. I recall a couple people have resigned from the Department of Justice in open protest, citing the political pressure on these investigations. Durham himself announced his refusal to push out political arrests. So this is also representing that internally people are jumping ship. They see what's coming and they're not going down for Trump. And also, like, I feel this to be when they try one of their fake stories, it's people just aren't really looking. Like, you see this person just like, okay, moving on. Like, it's just not sticking. And this upside down Page of Pentacles would be like a messenger, a story, and it's upside down. It's like not working. I feel this to be almost possibly today's Hunter Biden thing. Like, nobody's looking, nobody's listening. It's not working. So it's like they feel that, and they're like, We'll just focus on this, I think. I think here we can see, oh, and there's like 3 pages here, which page is like the lowest status, it's the lowest affecting, this would be like an intern as opposed to the boss. So we've got a lot of that smaller energy as opposed to, say, the major arcana. You know what I'm saying? Although we do have some things here, and I'll get to that in a minute, as opposed to, like, say, an ace or a king, we have this page. So this tells me they do have another sort of, some more theatrics possibly on deck, but like small. It's just small stuff. And then this upside down 7 of Pentacles. This would be all these things that they had invested in. For instance, these investigations that are not working out. Upside down, it's like none of the things are working out. So I think they are feeling like pretty small, like they don't have much. So that's great. Hopes and fears, this Ace of Pentacles, I just see as wanting to hold on to that big office, the presidency. One thing that does concern me is this Knight of Swords with this Devil card. This is the militias, the Proud Boys, the violence that I did feel fearful was coming in that some other read I did where I think this was like down here or somewhere where I felt there was going to be some of this activity, and there has been with the Governor Whitmer and and then Trump sort of doing that call out to the Proud Boys, like sort of like be on deck for, this is something that they are at least that Trump is very invested in. Maybe more of them are as well. They're sort of controlled by, I guess, Trump, and those bots and, whatever controls them. It's such an awful feeling. So I think there's a hope that these people will come out, in relation, say, to the trying to create confusion. They are really hoping that these types will come out and go to for instance, intimidate voters who are trying to vote, sort of hovering around, right? And possibly even come out. If the plan is to confuse, again, not saying it'll work, who knows, we'll see, but hoping that there will be parades and marches and that sort of thing. There will definitely be another call to these types who think they are warriors. They're like MAGA warriors, but really they're just like those dark militia types. So here I feel there will be, again, for whatever that means, a call for them to come out in the near future, which could be around election time. So let's see. But again, I get these 2 pages, like it just otherwise feels pretty weak. Whatever they had planned is not working out. Long term, I get this 8 of Swords. This, I feel, again, like the goal would be to sort of keep us trapped with the president, or Donald Trump presidency. Sort of just make it so that, like, supposedly no decision could be made, but that, won't really happen. But that this sort of, this 8 of Swords with this Moon card, howling at the moon is sort, like they're, what can be done, right? And then this Queen of Pentacles, I feel like, of course, they want to get their Supreme Court Justice lady in. Doesn't that look like her? It's crazy. So, their sort of dark agenda would include that, hoping to hold on to what they have. Then I get this Star card here. Oh, actually, and first let's talk about the cards that were at the base, at the bottom of the deck when I pulled this card first. Yeah, so I think that who knows if you'll even see Bill Barr until then, and he'll come out and say, give something we don't want to hear, which is some announcement on the election. But then we have this Sun card. Oh, sorry, Page of Swords. I see as a sort of... It's interesting because we'll see through this Page of Swords. It's like we're gonna see through whatever they do, or just it's really over for them. They don't have the energy behind them to get away with their trickery. We see through it. That's us. We're the pages. We're the people. We have the intelligence to see through this. It will be the Sun with the Emperor here. It's like we will see through. We will know. You know, could just be saying it's gonna be clear who the new president is. You can, use all your powers. I actually think this magician could be speaking to an investigation that will bring clarity to the election. And with that Lovers card, it feels like a friend to the Democrats or democracy itself, possibly even from another country as an ally who is able to bring clarity to the rightful outcome. Maybe by having monitored some things that our own country didn't. I just feel an investigation and an ally here, bringing a lot of strength, and you'll see it's followed by a Three of Swords and a Hermit, which is the end for Trump. I still feel this as a Three of Swords through the heart for Trump, that he's going to lose. This Hermit card, the counts are in. Some of you might have seen my read on how Trump goes, my prediction on that, possibly with a heart incident, which I think could be reflected here. And while the Hermit card did make me think of examining votes, I now think it could be, with that heart card, Trump feeling alone and isolated in the end with no support. Yeah, so then we added the Moon here and the Queen of Pentacles, which I think we've got that figured out. And then the Star. This has been a card that keeps coming up for me, is like keep wishing for... Just know that, this is like the miracle, and I also feel this to be like the holidays, we're going to be at peace. And keep that in mind, and keep yourself there. Beneath it all, it's all going to work out. Like, they're not going to... This is another page. Like, from this Page of Wands, I get local, city, county, state workers working very hard to validate the votes, to make the appropriate judgments. So democracy is fairly served, so that... Again, it'll be another example of the people, the workers, standing up and pulling together to save democracy. The judgment is made. The judgment is here. The Knight of Cups, it's going to go to the Democrats. Knight of Cups. The judgment will be made. So that's what I get for that. I don't really feel much more than just trying to complicate things and trying to create maybe some violence. We might have a scare out there. We might just be scared. Why are these people so awful? Maybe October is sort of like that spooky time anyway, that Halloween month. It's like, let's get through this month. Let all the scary stuff come to the surface and look forward to those holidays where things will be more peaceful. And then let's do another read. But yeah, this just tells me I think things are not working out. People are leaving. There's not a ton that they have on deck. I mean, this Page of Cups with an upside down Seven of Pentacles. It's like, well, we can try this, but nothing else is working out. So I think that's pretty great. And yeah, again, just the goal being to trap us. It's just so evil, but they're not going to get away with it. We have our Star card there, like leading the way, so it's gonna work out. Thanks for watching. Not fun to read on these people, so I'm gonna read on something better next. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.